Okay, so this is part 2 of the previous JavaScript tutorial. Here we're going to be looking at data types. I have the same um, notepad or script open. Something that I forgot to do in the previous tutorial is when you're saving this, you need to save it as an HTML. So you have to say JavaScript whatever dot HTML. All right. It already exists, so I forgot to mention that in the previous tutorial, but that's what you need to do. All right, so we're going to look at data types. All right, so we're going to be looking at the 4 main data types, and the first one is numbers or integers. All right, so I'm going to create a variable number equals 0. This is an integer. It's a number, a whole number that is indivisible. We also have floats, but I'm not going to look at floats right now because for the purposes of this tutorial, we don't really need it yet. So here we have a variable. It's a number. It's equal to 0. Quick side note, or not quick side note, something that is very important is when you're declaring variables or data types, you need to use var. There also exists, let's say let other number equal 1, and then we have const next number equal 2. All right, so this is the 3 ways you can declare a variable. With these 2, we can modify them. With constant, we cannot. So when you say const next number equal 2, you cannot change this afterwards. These 2, you can change them afterwards. Okay? So this is how you declare numbers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this out in the console so you can see it. So number, comma, other number, comma, next number. Okay. Control S or Command S on the Mac. I'm going to refresh this, and here we have it. 0, 1, 2. Shows up on your console. So these are your integers. Alright, so the next thing we're going to look at are strings. Alright, so I'm guessing if I'm not sure if you've heard of this before, but strings, the simplest and most layman's way I could say it is a string is a chain of characters strung together. So they can be words. It could also have numbers in them, but then they no longer operate as numbers. I think the best way to do it was to show you. Say var string var string is equal to hello, not hello world. Let's say not hello world again. All right, that's your string. All right, and let's print that out in the console. You save it, refresh your browser. There we go. That's your string. Not hello world again. Okay. I think you got this right. This is easy. If I'm going to show you something something really tricky. So if I were to do this, all right, this is how you concatenate in JavaScript. You use a plus sign if I were to use this plus number, what do you think is going to happen? All right, let's save it and let's refresh. You notice the 0 here is not blue like this. When it's blue here, it's saying that it's a number. Here it's not blue anymore because it becomes a string. When we add numbers to strings, they become strings. They lose their privileges as numbers, as we call it. All right, so they're no longer numbers, they become strings. So that's a little thing that you should take into consideration. All right, the next data type is our arrays. All right, so let's say var array is equal to this. All right, so what an array has, an array is like a filing cabinet, right? So in this array, I'm going to put value 0. I'm going to put the number that we already created. I'm going to put, and the string. I'm going to put the string that we also created inside of it. All right, so that's your array. It's like a filing cabinet, and let's save it. Let's print it out in our console. All right, save it again. Let's refresh, and here you go. In your console, it's saying it has 3 elements, 3 items. Value 0, because we put value 0. Let's show that here. All right, value 0, number, which is its value is 0, and the string, which is not hello world again, plus the number. That's why we have the 0 here. All right, if I click this, then you can see its indices, right? In its index 0, it's value 1, index 1, value 0, index 2, not hello world again. So why do we have these indices? Why? It's because since we're saving them in this array, we would like to call them later. So I'm going to do a console log again and call let's see, I'm gonna call the second value. The second value is at index 1, right? The second value is at index 1. All right, so save, and it's 0. All right, let's go back and call the third value, or the last value. It's at index 2. Let's save that and refresh. Not hello world again. Okay, great. That's how arrays work. There's a lot more we can do with this. There's a lot more I can show you, but we're just looking at the data types for now. And the other one, the last one I want to show you guys, is the object. So let's create an object. Var object is equal to, so we use curly brackets, or curly braces. I don't know how you call them basically, but we use curly braces, curly brackets. And the differences here, the difference with an array and an object is your index could be anything you want. Well, almost anything you want. You could give it a name. All right. I'm forgetting the term that we call it. I forgot. But there's a term for this. But I forgot it right now. So let's say we want our first index to be. It could either be. Let's do it like this. Okay. Value 0 is equal to. Let's do something kind of tricky. All right. So you see what I did there? I'm saying that value 0 at index, my first index is value 0, is equal to, right? So we use this for our equal, is equal to the value that is inside the array, but at index 0, which is going to be value 0. Value 0 is value 0, okay? Let's save this, console log it, and see how it works. object. Save, and let's refresh. All right. As you can see, right? As you can see, value 0, which is this, is value 0, which is the value, the 0 value in the array. All right. Let's add another value. You don't always have to add everything inside of quotes. You only add them in quotes if the name of your index has spaces, because I cannot do this. All right, I can't do this. This would not work. This is wrong. If I want to have a space in my my name, I need to put quotes. Or I can just do this _1. That works because there are no spaces. And I'm gonna give it a different name. Let's say this is so cool. All right, put a comma. We're gonna save it, and then we're gonna refresh. Here you go. Value 0 is equal to value 0. Value _1, this is so cool. That's in the object. Okay, and let me show you why objects are so important in JavaScript. I'm going to put an object within an object. And how do you do this? So let's do this again. Value _2 is curly braces, and I'm going to call this sub value is equal to array. Let's take the second value in the array, which is going to be 0, right? We have our array is equal to number. All right, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to refresh, and let's see how it goes. And there you go. You have value 0, value 1, and then value 2 is an object, and this object has its own sub value. All right, let's do something else. Let's add another one. Let's call this one sub value 2. Let's give this a different name. This is inside. This is an object. No, this is, let's call it, this is the second dimension of the object. All right. In other languages, like I'm going to use PHP for example, we don't need objects because arrays can act as objects in the sense that we can have arrays where we give them our specific names. We give specific names to the indices. But in JavaScript, that is not the case. With an array, it's just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The indices are integers. So the objects, we need objects to be able to, have objects within objects, arrays within objects, and everything. Functions within objects. Objects are really, really cool, and when we get to this topic, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff you can do with objects. All right, so let's do something else. I'm going to show you how you call something specific within an object. Console log. Let's say object dot. Use the dot. So I want the value 2. And do I call something else? Yeah, let's call sub value 2. Right. So let's see how that works. Save, refresh. All right, so let's start here. So we have our object. Let me bring this back up. Let's come over here. So we have the object, which is this, which has value 0, which is this. It has value 1, which is this. And it has value 2, which is a different object, which is this. Inside of this value 2, there's another object. And these are the values inside the object, which is this, this, as you can see. Okay? And then here, I'm showing you how you can call specific values within your object. So you have the object dot value 2, which is value 2, dot sub value 2, which is this, which gives you back this string, which is, this is second dimension of the object. And there you have your data types. You have your strings, your arrays, your numbers or integers, and your objects. And that's it for now. See you in the next tutorial.